Howard, I wanted to ask you actually the market psychology in all of this, right? What is the market looking for? Are they looking at treasuries to kind of exacerbate a sell-off? Are they looking at tariffs? There seems to be a little bit of anxiousness on Facebook. But if you're a market participant, do you only look at monetary policy or do you look at the underlying fundamentals?
Well, you really have to absorb everything, as hard as that is. And you've hit on the biggest items right now. The trade situation. Tariffs are taxes. Global trade is 60%. Trade is 60% of global GDP. So the tariffs are going to matter, and we got a lot of runway there to see how that's going to play out. This is for top of the first inning as far as that goes, and I don't think that's necessarily going to be a good result. We have the Fed tightening. That's a factor that's at play here. And you have a new Fed chairman. So rates have risen. Oil prices are up 55% in the last year. Mortgage rates are up 50 basis points this year. So you have this backdrop of some monetary tightening taking place, quantitative tightening instead of quantitative easing. That's important as well. Facebook, that's an emotional trade. Facebook was never really a very expensive stock. This is a stock whose earnings rose 75% last year. They rose over 50% the year before that. So as the stock rose in spectacular fashion, it was just keeping pace with earnings. It's now selling at 17 times next year's expected earnings. That makes it a 2 multiple point discount to Pepsi. On an EBITDA basis, it's the same. It's 13 times forward EBITDA in line with Pepsi. Pepsi is struggling to grow its top line with GDP. Facebook's growing at more than 20%. So I think.
Right, but Howard, is that wrong or is that just right? But I mean, we're talking about valuations.
This is an opportunity for people that can stomach some volatility with Facebook, being able to buy this stock down about 20% on this emotional privacy issue. I think this is equivalent to buying Apple several years ago when people were calling for Tim Cook's head.
But Howard,
they said Apple had no creativity left.